This is an iHeart podcast.
She's seen Encanto more times than she can count. And she can count to 10. She mentioned Mirabel in every conversation. But the moment she actually met Mirabel, she was speechless. That's pura magia. Find yours at Walt Disney World Resort.
5 years, 10 months, and 2 days. That's how long it took to grow the 38 inches to ride on Cali River Rapids. But the moment the wait finally ended, that was pura magia. Discover it at Walt Disney World Resort.
Want to feel more creative but don't have the right laptop? Lenovo.com can help. Look through our legendary lineup of AI-powered PCs and devices and find the one that fits your passion. Our PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, as well as cutting-edge AI tools, allow students to focus, learn, and create with ease. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers can get 5% off their order. Shop now on Lenovo.com. The future's waiting, and it needs you.
Hello, from Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month we're talking about Maritime Madams, whether through scientific study, aquatic exploration, or legendary prowess. These women harness the power of the bodies of water that cover our Earth. A raven flies over a series of islands, separated by the icy Gulf of Alaska. A heavy blanket of fog covers them. The raven lands on shore, and the mist clears. He spots a woman. Her hair is long and black as she sits in her canoe. The fog rolls in again, and when it dissipates, the woman is gone. Today's Womanican is a mystical figure, a guardian of salmon, and as mysterious as the substance she's named after. Please welcome Fog Woman. Fog Woman is a mythical figure from Tlingit folklore. The tribe lives along the coast of southeastern Alaska and among the more than 1,000 nearby islands. This area sees about 340 cloudy days a year, so it's no surprise that fog is personified in their folklore. Fog Woman appears in a few stories and is always tied to salmon, the tribe's main source of food. There are several iterations of Fog Woman's origin story, but many of them begin with Raven. In Tlingit folklore, Raven is a creator. He is the reason there's dry land and fresh water. But he's also a trickster. He's selfish, impatient, and easily frustrated. Raven reflects the duality, both the good and the bad, of humans themselves. The story starts something like this. Raven asked the chief if he knew of an eligible woman to marry. The chief offered his daughter. But the chief had a condition and told Raven that he must respect his daughter. If he didn't, she would leave. Tlingit culture is matrilineal, and women are equal to men. Raven agreed and married the chief's daughter. The two spent the summer and fall together in harmony. Then the winter swept in. During the long, dark days, they ran out of food. Raven became hungry and angry. On a cold, rainy day, Raven noticed his wife weaving a basket. He snapped, "What do we need a basket for if we don't have any food?" His wife ignored him and continued weaving. The next morning, Raven woke up to the sound of splashing. He looked over and his wife was washing her hands in the basket. He looked into the basket and saw fish. Their bodies were long and narrow with silvery scales. It was the first salmon. Raven was relieved. They were no longer hungry. The smell of dried salmon filled their cabin. Every day, his wife washed her hands in the basket and came up with fistfuls of fish. In some tellings of the story, Raven, now fat and well-fed, started taking his wife for granted. He argued with her. One day during a heated fight, he threw a piece of dried salmon at her. His wife fled. Raven followed after her. He tried to grab her, but every time he reached out, his wings went through her body. His wife had transformed into a thin veil of mist. Soon she was nowhere to be seen. The legend of Fog Woman expands beyond her ability to produce salmon. Versions of her story also explain the annual salmon run. In one story, a chief was out fishing in the ocean with 2 slaves. They had only managed to catch a few fish, and the fog around them was thick, making it impossible to find their way home. Suddenly, a canoe appeared beside them, surprising the chief. In it was a woman. The chief complained to her about the impenetrable fog and the low catch. The woman reached over in his canoe and took the chief's hat. She waved her hand over it in a circle. Suddenly, the fog lifted and they all paddled back to shore. The chief was still displeased that he had so few fish. So the woman took his hat again, waving her hand over it. Out spilled 2 fat, shimmery pink salmon. The chief and villagers were elated. The chief married Fog Woman, and they had 2 daughters. Fog Woman proved to be a better hunter than the chief, and the villagers laughed at him. Fog Woman, ashamed for having brought her husband embarrassment, left. Without her there, the salmon dried up and the town grew hungry. Fog Woman's daughters searched for her. When they found her, they pleaded with her to return with the salmon. Fog Woman agreed to return the fish, but only once a year. Regardless of the varying details in her story, Fog Woman is to be respected. Today, totem poles still stand strong with her holding up the base. In her hands are 2 salmon. All month we're talking about Maritime Madams. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow.
You're great at protecting your own personal information. You probably even use things like 2-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN. But as much as you try to be in control of how your information is protected, there are lots of places that also have it, and they might not be as careful as you are. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second for identity threats. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock US-based restoration specialist will help solve identity theft issues on your behalf, guaranteed or your money back. Plus, all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. You might not be able to control how others handle your personal information, but you can help protect it with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock and use promo code IHEART or go to lifelock.com/iHeart for 40% off. Terms apply.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
This is an iHeart podcast.